Welcome, history enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating yet misunderstood aspects of medieval life: hygiene. What you're about to discover might surprise you, challenge your assumptions, and give you a new perspective on how our ancestors lived. Setting the scene. Picture yourself walking through a medieval town in the 14th century. The streets are narrow, and yes, there's that distinctive aroma that modern noses might find overwhelming. But contrary to popular belief, medieval people weren't indifferent to cleanliness. They just had different approaches to it. The bathing culture. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Medieval people did bathe. While not as frequently as we do today, public bathhouses were common in many towns. These weren't just places for cleaning, they were social hubs where people gathered, discussed business, and even enjoyed meals. In fact, during the 12th and 13th centuries, Paris alone had 32 public bathhouses. The wealthy had private bathing rooms in their homes, complete with wooden tubs lined with linen sheets for comfort. Personal hygiene practices. Daily hygiene looked different from what we know today. People would wash their faces and hands regularly, especially before meals, a practice that was both practical and tied to religious customs. They used basins and ewers, which were prized possessions in many households. Interesting fact, medieval people used something called a washing ball, an early form of soap made from herbs, sweet-smelling flowers, and animal fat. These were particularly popular among the upper classes. Medical understanding. Medieval medical knowledge was based on the theory of the four humors: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. This influenced their approach to cleanliness. They believed that opening and closing the pores through hot and cold water treatments could balance these humors. The Black Death in the 14th century actually led to increased attention to cleanliness. Towns began implementing public health measures, including waste removal systems and regulations about keeping streets clean. Challenges and solutions. Living in medieval times presented unique hygiene challenges. Without running water or modern sewage systems, people had to be creative. They used herbs like lavender and rosemary, not just for pleasant scents, but also for their natural antibacterial properties. In larger towns, there were designated areas for waste disposal, and some cities even had primitive sewage systems. York, for example, had a system of wooden pipes that carried waste away from the city. Conclusion. As we wrap up our journey through medieval hygiene, remember that while their practices might seem primitive to us, they were innovative for their time. Their solutions to everyday challenges show human ingenuity and adaptability. If you're interested in learning more about medieval life, here are 3 excellent resources. The Year 1000, What Life Was Like at the Turn of the First Millennium, by Robert Lacey. The Time Traveller's Guide to Medieval England, by Ian Mortimer, the Museum of London's Medieval Gallery, available online. Share this fascinating history with others, and next time someone mentions medieval hygiene, you'll have some surprising facts to share. Don't forget to subscribe for more historical insights.